Good evening, everyone. Everyone's doing great, and everyone is all right. We have a few people still trying to connect. We'll give them a second. All right, looks like everyone is in. All right, so like I said, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's doing great and everyone's all right. My name is Vince Tucker. I'll be your instructor for this semester. So I'm assuming that you've seen at least some of my emails, if you haven't seen all of them. And so we're going to go through the emails that I sent to you guys first, and then talk about other things. So first email, and so these emails I actually put in Popular as well. And so they there. I just decided to go through the emails around as far as where I put them at. So I emailed them to you, and I posted them in the announcements in Popular. But the first email was just an introduction, just so you know what type of course it is. We'll be meeting online. Somebody got a hand raised already?
Nah, my bad. I just got into class late. I was
Oh,
just
okay.
saying, I thought it was in person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. You good. You good.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. So this is like I was just mentioning, this is an online class. We're gonna meet every Thursday at 6 o'clock. But it's only once a week. So like I said, Thursday, and we meet at this specific time, but we'll talk about other ways you can get the course content as well. But that's all that first email was about. Second was our Zoom link. That Zoom link will hold true throughout the whole semester. Unless, Zoom do something funky or whatever, and then, mess that up. And then, of course, I'll have to send another one. But outside of that, that Zoom link will be the same Zoom link um, for the whole semester. And like I mentioned, for those who came in a little late, these emails I did put in Popular as well. And so you should be able to see these same emails. So you'll be able to have a link there as well. Okay, so required materials. I'm not requiring you guys to have to purchase a physical textbook, but you will have to purchase access to MathLab. And within MathLab, there is an e-text that's just like the physical textbook, just that it's electronic and it's within the course shell. And so these are the instructions that you will follow. You log on to mymathlab.com. Well, go to mymathlab.com, register, and then use that course ID so you have access to the shell. Then from there, you have three options. Either you're going to input an access code that you may have purchased, whether it be from the bookstore or Amazon, I don't know, one of your friends, some external source. You have a 16-digit access code. Now, that access code is not able to be shared. So if you and your friend decide to go in half on the access code, whoever used it first got it. So it's not, one of those things where you can share the access code. Had somebody try that a couple of years ago, a couple semesters ago. So yeah, it didn't work well for them. Two people. You could actually purchase access from Pearson themselves right there. So they wouldn't give you an access code. They would just give you the access because you're right there. You don't need a code. And then if you're not ready to purchase at this moment, you can just use the 14-day free pass. So that's there as an option. If you use the 14-day free pass, what it do is give you full access for 14 days. And then after that, it will lock you out. You won't lose any of your progress, but you will be locked out until you go ahead and purchase full access. I will still have access to what you've done, but you won't. Hmm. Any questions? First three emails. Any questions before we go any further? Everybody good?
Yeah, how much is it?
That's I don't know. I don't know. I haven't even looked into it. So I know normally though, I think it is cheaper to go through Pearson versus going through the bookstore, to be honest. I think somebody typing in the chat.
How much that 100?
A
Somebody
hundred is
said,
crazy.
Yeah, you got 100 for me? Or whatever.
who is that? You said, do I have 100?
I'm just
I
messing.
need 100.
Feel me? I understand. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, yeah.
Wait. My bad. So
Mhm.
you said we whoever's the first to get to the ID first could get it?
No. I've said that people have tried. So like this course ID is free. That has nothing to do with your purchasing. But there's a access code that you have to purchase that actually gives you full access to the course. Just like if you were buying a textbook, you have to pay for the
Mm,
textbook. That's the same thing. Um,
mm,
and so now it may be cheaper if you purchase it through Pearson themselves. A lot of times that is the case versus purchasing it through the bookstore. But sometimes, if your financial aid is paying for stuff or whatever, you may not have that as an option. But yeah, I do believe it's cheaper if you go and try to purchase it through Pearson themselves. Yeah. All right. So next thing is MATLAB specifics. In other words, how we will be using MATLAB throughout the course. Um, First statement I just wanted to highlight is that it does not work well with Safari. So if you have a Apple product, you will need to download Chrome or Firefox. Both of them are free. Chrome is normally the easiest one that it just works all the time with. But if you use Safari, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll pull up a page, sometimes it won't pull up any page. Safari can be real funky. It does not interface well with Safari. So the best bet is to download Chrome and then just use Chrome, at least when you're dealing with MATLAB. Mhm. So, first thing is you cannot pass the course without access to MATLAB. That's how you're getting all of your assignments, all of your homework, all of your tests. When we do our midterm and our final exam, we do everything through MATLAB. So you have to have access to MATLAB. Just mentioned that. The way you show your activity and your participation is going to be through MATLAB. So, and I'm going to, when I get to this last email, you'll see why I say this is that, you could miss class. We're doing Zoom, we don't have an in-person component, but in order to keep attendance the same across the board, if you participate in MATLAB weekly, then that's the way I can solidify, your attendance. So I'm not saying you have to get into MATLAB every day, but I do need you to get in there weekly to show, that you are attending, that show that you are in class, because you can come to class every day, but if you don't do your work in MATLAB, you're gonna fail anyway. So that's why I'm putting most of the emphasis in MATLAB, and I'm trying to push you to MATLAB to make sure that we recognize the importance of doing your work and being responsible for what what's out there as far as your homeworks and your tests. All right. If you have issues with anything, whether it be attendance, MATLAB, whatever the case may be, make sure you keep lines of communication open. Because like I said, I will be looking at MATLAB to solidify your attendance. But if you're having any issues, let me know so I can make sure that I can cover for you or vouch for you when it comes to, anyone asking about your attendance or me have to give an account for your attendance. Every semester I have people, and every year I have people that fall off the face of the earth. They just stop attending. They don't submit any work. They don't email me. Nothing happens. And so all I can do is give that person an F. So I would rather not, have to do that for you. So make sure you just keep lines of communications open. I'm going to do whatever I can to work with you and give you whatever time you need to get caught up. All right. So you will have unlimited amount of tries to get the best grade possible on your homework. So your homework assignments are set to unlimited. So with unlimited amount of tries, we're going to be looking for at least a 75 on your homework. So if you get a 75 to 84.9, I will give you a 90 in the grade book. But if you score at least an 85, I'll give you a full 100%. So if you at least shoot for an 85 on your homework, then I'll give you a full 100. Your test reviews for each test, for your final and your midterm, there will be a review that's set up right before it. They are not mandatory. You do not have to do them at all. You can go in them, look at it, go out of it. I don't care what you do with it. If you try a couple problems, realize that you're good and you don't want to do any more with it, that's fine. But if you want some extra credit, if you score 85 or higher on your test review, then I will add 5 points to that respective test. And so that's for your final and midterm as well. All right. And they are set up like your homeworks, so you get unlimited amount of tries of those. So even if you don't do your test reviews, I would suggest you at least take a look at them because they will let you know what type of problems you're going to see on your test. All right, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Only one home. My daughter had a question. All right, so like I said, the test reviews are not mandatory, but if you want extra credit, score 85 or better on them, and I will add 5 points to that respective test. All right, so you have 2 attempts to get the best grade possible on your test. So, with the homework, once again, it's unlimited. With your test, you get 2 attempts. Now, if you want an extra attempt, all you gotta do is email me. Especially if something crazy happened, like a cat walk across the keyboard and hit enter or something like that. It's not that big a deal, but you get 2 attempts without having to ask. So basically, that's where we are with that. And then for your test, this class, that's just a general statement I say to all of my classes, like pre-calc and calculus and all that. But you guys probably won't have that much scratch work when it comes to your test submissions. But if there is scratch work, then you can shoot me a copy of that. Just take a picture with your phone or scan it or whatever. and shoot that email to me. But that's only for tests. I do not need it for your homework. All right. So questions on any of that? Very good.
Did you send us this email? Could you forward that to us, or is it already
Yeah, I
forwarded?
already sent the email to you and I put it in Populi.
I got you. I just didn't see it then.
Yeah, if you don't see it, just email me and I'll forward it to you. It's not a big deal.
I got you. I'll go look.
Okay. All right, yeah. And then the last email I sent to you guys are just copies of all the lectures. You know, same guy, same notes. I was just talking to another class about it. That's all. So if you wanted to move ahead or if you missed class, then you can just go to the lectures. That's all of them right there. From chapter 2 all the way to 10 for the whole semester. So yeah. So with that being said, this class is once a week as far as our meeting time. If you want to move ahead and operate according to, because you get to look at the lectures, I don't have a problem doing. That means you wouldn't show up for class. Like I had one person that couldn't show up for class today because he playing a sport. And I'm gonna email this, out to the class because, just talking about class happenings and everything. But other than that, you have all of the lectures at your disposal. From this point forward, if you decide that, you're gonna look at the lectures, do your homework, look at the lectures, do your homework, and you don't come to class on Thursday, I'm okay with it as long as you are doing your work. If you're not doing your work, then that is a problem. Okay. So everybody hear me. I'm okay if you don't come on Thursday, if you are actually doing, if I can go to Math Lab and see you doing work and you're progressing through the course, I'm good. But if you're not coming to class and not doing work, then that's not good. All right. So I'm giving you these lectures at your disposal, and I don't mind you operating in that fashion. I haven't been getting your emails yet on seeing them on Populi. Okay, if you just want these in the email form, just email me and I can just forward it to you or whatever the case may be. But that's why I put them in Populi where
I think all of us might need them.
say again.
I think all of us might need that email again.
So why did it go to? Because let me see. Because
Yeah, I ain't get it either.
you see right here it says Populi sent this message to 13 recipients. So
I got the email.
you say you did get it?
I did get it, yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe only a few people got it, a few people didn't. Man, I'll just resend them. I don't have a problem with that. But if it's more than just one or two people, I'll just resend them to everybody. It's not a big deal. I got emails, my personal email, not my MacU email. That's weird. Okay, I'll try to shoot them to you guys again. But until then, if you want to get rolling or whatever, they are in Populi. So yeah. But all right. So questions so far? Everybody good? Any questions? Yeah. All right. So let's go to Math Lab real quick. So I went to mymathlab.com and it takes you to the screen. If you want to register, you go down here. Let me make sure I share the right screen. Yep. So you go down here to student access. We're not using LMS, so we just scroll down to I'm ready to register. Some of you have already registered, so that's cool. This is just for those who may not be in there yet. So, and then here you would type in, that course ID that I gave, with the numbers or whatever, and then go to register. And then from there, you put in your personal information. Probably be best if you use your MacU email address. And then go ahead and go from there. And then from there, you'll get your 3 options of either putting in the access code, purchasing access from Pearson, or using the 14-day free pass. All right. All right, so when you go into the shell, you'll have your syllabus right here. I'll probably put this in Populi too. I just haven't updated it yet. Yeah, still say spring 24. I need to update it, but it's still the same content. I just need to put the right dates on it. And then from here, you'll see all of your assignments. And you'll see assignments from beginning to end. So notice how it's set up. We'll talk about due dates in a second, but you got chapter 1, chapter 2, and then that's your first test. Chapter 3, chapter 4, second test, and these are your midterms. So your midterm is going to be on chapters 1 through 4. And then you got 5, 6, 7, 8, And then 10 is not on one of these tests, but it's on the final exam as well. And your final exam is cumulative from beginning to end. But once again, if you take a look at the review, you'll see what type of problems that you'll have to be concerned about going into the final exam. And you can do this unlimited amount of trials, so you can get whatever practice you want to get out of doing the final exam review. All right, so feel free to move ahead. Now we're gonna have 2 major due dates. I just open up everything right now because I hadn't mapped it out as far as where spring break is. But chapters 1 through 4 will be due at midterm. So the Sunday going into spring break will be when all of this is due. That week before is when we're going to do our midterm. So I'll give you a couple of options. Well, no, this class only meets on Thursday. So yeah, we'll be that Thursday. So never mind about a couple of options. Think about another class. So that week before spring break is when we'll do our midterm. And then the week before the 9th is when we'll do our final exam. All right. And I just need to change that. Like I said, go look at when spring break, starts and everything. But that's when chapters 1 through 4. So essentially, it's a 16-week course. You got 8 weeks to do chapters 1 through 4, and then 8 weeks to finish out the rest of the course. All right. So it leaves room for life to happen, and you don't have to necessarily ask me for an extension or anything like that. If you get behind, then you just need to pick up the pace. There's no penalty on, nothing's due this weekend or next weekend or anything like that. Like I said, it's going to be due. You have 2 due dates, one at midterm and then one at the end of the semester. All right. These tests, you do them on your own time. So when you're ready to do them, you just go ahead and knock them out. The only time I need to see you as far as you performing your or accomplishing your test, that will be, like I said, the midterm and the final exam. That's when those 2 have to be proctored. But the other ones, you do them on your own time when you're ready. All right. Questions about due dates? Very good. Okay.
If I go into math lab and I do like the little free trial, could I do all the assignments? And
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna knock it out like that, I mean, it's open to do.
because I know one teacher, she kind of like had a close off at a certain date, like at a half of the semester. So I was wondering if you did the same thing.
Oh, nah, I mean,
Okay, it's all
yeah.
good. Thank you.
Now there is a due date, or not a due date. There is a because they make it so that you have to set your date for when registration closed. But if for some reason you haven't registered by that date, all you do is shoot me an email and I'll just open it up so you can register. So that's what you're talking about.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just a conversation, not a big deal. All right. So let's look at an assignment just in case you haven't gotten in there yet. You haven't dealt with MATLAB before. Let's see a good one. All right. So down here we have our help tools. Now all of these help tools will not be available for you during the test. These are just there for your homework assignments. If you click on help me solve this, that means you have conceded to get this problem wrong and you just want to see how you're going to solve it. So once you hit help me solve this, they will automatically mark it wrong and then tell you how to solve it. So that's why most people hit view an example, and that brings a window up, and then that should walk you through a problem that's very similar to it. And then once you're done with it, close out the window, then you can go to the problem right there. So that's what most people do. And then even with it, you can go ahead and print that out if you want to. I've had people to print out whole folders of just examples because they were just trying to stay on top of things. So it's up to you how you want to handle that option. Right here, get more help. Depending on the complexity of the problem here, you see it's a relatively simple problem, so they don't give you but so many options. There could be a video there of someone from Pearson teaching the topic. There could also be another type of video, animation video, walking you through the problem. So here, if you click on textbook, it's going to send you to the e-text where this problem is discussed. StatCrunch is Pearson's version of Excel. You can learn how to use it or not. It's up to you. Or if you have questions about how to use it, always hit me up. And then ask my instructors when you send me an email. It will send me an email that you're having problems with this problem. And then from there, I can help you out. All right. So when you try the problem, normally it'll give you 3 options. I mean, not 3 options, 3 attempts at getting the problem correct. And so it tries to give you a hint, and you see right here, final check. So it gives you 3 chances to get the problem correct. Unless it's something like a true false question, then of course, just one shot, because if it's not true, then it's false. But then when you final check, it tell you what the correct answer is. Now you can go to the next one or hit similar question. Let's say if you didn't hit it, similar question will be right here. But once you do so, it'll reset the problem and it just give you different numbers with the same type of problem. Notice right here, it says that it's incorrect. And then if you were to go to the problem list, it says, incorrect there, that red X. So if you get it correct though, it will turn it into a green check. If it's a problem that has multiple answers and you got some of them right, some of them wrong, then it would be green check / red X. And then once again, if you get it all right, on the next go round, it'll turn into a green check, you get full credit. Any questions with that? All right. All right, so next thing, this is the only type of assignment that's like this, and that's these definitions. That would be these definitions. Now, all the other assignments, you go through them, hit submit, and then you get your answer, instantaneously because you're doing it through MATLAB. But here, chapter 1 and chapter 2, I do not do a full lecture on them because they're mainly definitions. And so instead of me going through the process of writing down definitions and you copying them and I'm falling asleep and you falling asleep and all we're doing are definitions, the way we handle chapter 1 and chapter 2 is that I give you these 2 sets of definitions and you do them on your own time. And we'll talk about due date in a second for these. And these definitions, you do not go outside of statistics to find these definitions because these definitions in statistics may mean something different outside of statistics. So you have an e-text right here. So I want to go, okay, I don't have it. So you go to e-text and hit chapter 1. Go back to it while it's loading. So if you go to this chapter 1 definitions, remember I talked about using Safari. If you use Safari, in this case, only one page will show up. So that's why I said I'll make sure you don't use Safari because they don't interface well. But notice how the definitions are. I got what are statistics, data, population, individual sample statistic. So going here, this is the book. This is the same book you will get if you purchased a hard copy. So first definition, statistics. Then you got data. If you go to the next page. There you go. Population, individual sample. And then it go give you another definition of statistics. So all of them are in order. I didn't make this to be a scavenger hunt. It wasn't supposed to be a hard assignment. It's just something to familiarize you with the terms because these terms are going to be terms that you may use or probably will use. A lot of them you will be using as you progress throughout the course. So at least you know that you've been exposed to them. And if nothing else, you'll have something that you can go refer back to if you see these terms and you don't, remember what they are. And so that's what it is. So all of them are highlighted and you should be able to find them. If you get to number 10 and you notice that number 7, you missed number 7 somewhere, then you just need to go back because somewhere you missed it because all of them are in order. And so, like I said, it wasn't made to be a hard assignment. It should be an easy 100, easy 2 100s because you're doing chapter 1 and chapter 2. And so how you would do it is up to you. Either you can write them down in your notebook, you can type them up, download a Word document, whatever the case may be, and then you'll shoot them to me in email. If you need to take a picture of your notebook, then email it to me. Whatever way is fine, but you just shoot them to me in email. And then once I get them, I'll let you know I got it. And then I'll manually put your grade into MATLAB. But once again, these are the only assignments in which we will operate this way. All the rest of them, you just go into your homework, go into your test, do it, hit submit, and then you'll get your grade. And these are the only 2 chapters that we're doing definitions on. So chapters 3, 4, all the way to the end will not have definitions. Just chapters 1 and 2. All right. So as far as due date is concerned, my other class I gave to the 31st, so I think that's enough time. So 31st, January 31st. Let me see, I'm not sure the right page. So, and as we continue to go forward, this is the note. This is the note page that I'll be using to do notes and talk and write at the same time, everything like that. When you go to those videos, this is the same page that I use. So like I said, you're not missing anything if you were to go to the videos, the same notes, same guy talking, same screen and everything. It's just, of course, you can't ask me a question live. I will be sending you office hours as well. So if you needed to, get some help, then most definitely, those will be the times that I will be available. If you can't make my office hours, but you still need to meet with me, then it's just about having another conversation. And, we'll try to match up our schedules to see when we both are available. But our definitions, due January 31st. And, shoot those to me as soon as possible. And we'll go from there. All right. Questions? Any questions? Everybody good? I'll make sure I have everything.
No, sir. I think I'm good.
Sounds good, sir. And so when you do those definitions, for the most part, these on chapter 1 and chapter 2, they're going to be leaning on those definitions. So you should be able to just go back to those definitions and answer the questions in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 2 has a few graphs involved. So when we come back next class, I'm going to touch on 1 or 2 concepts, 2 or 3 concepts in chapter 2, and then we'll get into chapter 3. Chapter 3 is where the calculation actually begins. So that's how we'll handle next class. Once again, you don't have to wait for me. If you rolling and you want to get the stuff done and it's easy to you, I would say take advantage of the time for when it's easy to you, because you know how math goes, that it probably will come a point in time where you will get a roadblock or a speed bump, and nothing else to slow you down a little bit. So while it's easy to you, go ahead and knock the stuff out. You want to progressively be doing this stuff as we go throughout the course, as time passes. The midterm will be here before you know it, if you're not careful. And you don't want to put yourself in a position in which everything is due this weekend and you've only done chapter 1. So you want to put yourself in a position in which you're able to walk away if you need to, because you could be frustrated, whatever the case may be. You don't want to put yourself in a position in which you put all your A's in one batch. So, I've had people who say, hey, Mr. Tucker, I know I'm behind, but I sent the kids away this weekend. I called off work. The house is clear. And then, I sent the dogs to the vet, kennel, whatever they go. And then next thing you know, the goldfish jump out the bowl and he dead. And, whatever else that could happen happens. And now you can't get your work done. So you don't want to put yourself in that position. You want to progressively be doing this stuff as we go throughout the course. All right. So with that being said, you have your assignments, you know what you need to get done and what you need to get started on. I'm not going to give you any lecture today because you got work to do. You got chapter 1, chapter 2 definitions. And then also, you can go ahead and get started in your chapter 1, chapter 2 homeworks. And like I said, next class, we're gonna talk a little bit, just a couple of topics that I know people have asked me about in chapter 2, and then we'll jump into chapter 3 and start moving from there. So before I close out, yes.
The assignments is due next class?
No. No, your assignments aren't due until midterm. That Sunday before going into spring break.
Yeah, I got you. My bad.
Yeah. No, you good. You good, because I'm pretty sure somebody might have had the same thought or same question. Yeah. So you're gonna see that reflected in MathLab. So once I go map out that date, you're gonna see 2 dates. You're gonna see that that Sunday before spring break for chapters 1 through 4, and then 5-9 is gonna be the date for the end of the course, and that's gonna be for everything else. And so that's when you got to get everything in. You got 8 weeks essentially. Now, don't take, if you're a professional procrastinator, of course, you're gonna have to temper yourself. But you got 8 weeks to get chapters 1 through 4 done. But like I said, don't take that for granted, because the 8 weeks will be gone before you know it. So make sure, you're not knocking the stuff out, slowly but surely. If you want to take the challenge of knocking everything out in 14 days, feel free. I don't have a problem with it. But you'll have to get with me about the midterm and the final exam. We have to work that out. I don't know how, but yeah, I'm most definitely willing to work with you if you get all the work done in 14 days for sure. But other than that, questions, concerns, comments before we close out today? All right. So if not, that's all I have for today. Like I said, I didn't want to really get in the lecture. I want to give you guys a chance to get into MathLab, because I know everybody's not logged in yet. So get into MathLab. You don't have to wait for me to send that email out, because like I said, it is in Popular. So get into MathLab. Let's get started, get rolling. And then, like I said, next week we'll start full-fledged as far as our lectures are concerned. And once again, I will make sure, I want to make sure you understand how I feel about you attending class. If you decide to go with the lectures that are already previously recorded, I'm good with you as long as you are working in MATLAB and getting your work done. All right. So it's on record. I'm going to send this email out to you. It's on record. I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, as long as you're getting your work done, we are all good. All right. So with that being said, you guys have a great weekend. Have a great week. Be safe, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Have
You
a
too,
good one.
man. You too.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Stay
Take care.
blessed out here, man.
Thank
Stay.
you.
Appreciate it. You do the same. Take care.
Uh-huh. Get up out of here, Jalen.